Quasi here, and in this video I'm going to show you how you can recondition yourself and reprogram yourself to manifest more money into your life. I really want you to pay close attention to this video because what I'm going to be sharing with you are basically the 3 stages I personally had to go through from when I started at a 9-to-5 to starting up my business and seeing inconsistent results in it to really taking it up to revolutionary heights. Okay, this is something that's going to be a big game changer for you. And if you're someone who's a professional, you're looking to make more money in your career or really looking to even transition out and start up your own business, understanding the internal mechanisms and the internal workings of your subconscious mind, yourself, and really your whole internal world, what you call as you. Understanding that and how to restructure that so that you can easily and comfortably step into what you want is going to be very crucial for you. Stick around to the very end of this video because what I'm going to be sharing with you is one big realization that I had to make to help me shift my own paradigm. Before I begin this video, I wanted to quickly announce that a couple of spots have opened up for the free one-to-one consult with me and my team for the Reality Mastery program. If you've been trying to sign up and you haven't found a spot yet, make sure you wait around till the end of the video for the announcement on that. And with that, let's get started. So in this video, I want to talk to you about manifesting more money. Okay? And anytime you want to make more of what you already have, more often than not, it is easy. But the problem is, you don't see it that way. Okay, you start to only focus on the scarcity and what you don't have rather than what you do. So life brings more and more of what you don't have. This will lead us to actually talking about the big key, which is the mirror principle of life and how life actually works. Okay, but the biggest problem most people go through is most people hold on to what they already have. Okay? Most people hold on to what they already have and they can't take the decisions they need to take to help them break out of this current cycle they're in. So let's look at an example of this. Let's say you have been working a comfortable 9-to-5 job. Okay, let's say this is your current worldview. Your current worldview, and this is your circle, is you're in a comfortable, cushy corporate career. And within you, there is a desire of wanting to move forward. But you've been in this career for so long, 20 years, 30 years, you've been working in an engineering job, you've been working a corporate career, and this whole time you've sort of accustomed yourself to someone else's definition of what your life should be like. Okay? Now, what's happened is over the years that you've been in this job, certain events have happened and you've seen certain things and you've lived in certain patterns, waking up, brushing your teeth, taking the train or driving to work, coming back, watching TV, eating dinner, going to bed, only to do the same cycle over and over again. This has become an ingrained habit within you, right? So naturally it gets increasingly difficult to break out of a 30-year conditioning overnight. So this is why most people aren't able to do that. So let's call this your current paradigm. This circle is your current paradigm. But now what you're wanting to do is expand it because now you've started to realize and the pain has actually gotten to you that, I can't continue on like this anymore. I don't want to be in my deathbed saying, oh, well, I lived a mediocre average life and I didn't really do what I wanted to do. So let's say you now make the decision that you want to become an entrepreneur, you want to start up your own business, you want to have that freedom to travel, to spend your time the way you want to spend it. So now what's required of you is this paradigm. All right, I'll do a dotted line. So this is the paradigm that's required of you. But this one has become very, very solidified. That's why I drew it in a solid line. This one is not a strong paradigm yet because you haven't conditioned yourself to that yet. So now what's got to happen is you've got to shift from this paradigm to this paradigm. So the biggest issue most people go through and why they can't manifest more money is they're always, met with critical decision-making points, critical junctures in their lives where they have to make a very crucial decision. Do I invest in this program, this course? Do I invest in this advertising? Do I, do this and do that, or do I not? Do I just stay to what is comfortable and what is cushy? Even if they have a business that is doing well and they've been part-time, they've actually made the leap to transition part-time in their corporate career and they've been doing their business, they couldn't quite make the leap to going full-time. So they couldn't fully commit to their decisions. And because of that, this dotted line has stayed dotted. The phenomenon of you moving from this smaller circle to this bigger circle is what we call a paradigm shift. Okay? So if I went from this small circle, let's say this is you go from here and you just obliterate this barrier that you have and you go out to the big circle, this is when you've experienced a paradigm shift. Now, what causes a paradigm shift to occur? That is, again, changing your complete conditioning, what you call as yourself. This is where we're going to get to the key of it, which is the key of identity shifting. Shifting your whole identity, your whole conditioning, your whole state of being. Okay, how you've been accustomed to living, what thoughts you've been feeling, what emotions, what thoughts you've been focusing on and what emotions you've been feeling. All of those constitute of what we call as you. Okay, we're going to get to that. But before I get to that, I want to exemplify this situation to really concretize it by helping you understand my situation and where I started. So as many of you may have known, if you've been following my channel, when I first began in this journey towards entrepreneurship, towards following my own path, there were 3 big stages to it. Okay, I'm going to summarize them into 3 big stages. Maybe there were more, maybe there were less. I don't know. But stage 1 was where I first started off. When I had the 9 to 5, okay, I was supposed to go for a full-time career in engineering. Okay, it was paying me $48K a year, and I was supposed to work full-time, 40 hours a week, maybe even more if the company required it. It was not a bad salary, but at the end of the day, what you're sacrificing much more than that is your time, right? I was in that 9 to 5 mentality where I believed my paradigm was this, where, the only thing that is possible is the 9 to 5. Everyone does a 9 to 5. Everyone goes to college, goes to high school, goes to college, and then comes out of college looking for a job. You have to compete to earn your place under the sun, right? That was my paradigm at the time. And you can imagine if someone were to come up to me and be like, people actually make money online, and people actually have their own businesses, and people actually are financially free where they no longer have to worry about where the next paycheck is coming from, but they have enough money saved so that they can just relax and do the things that they want to do and not worry about the next paycheck, right? So that kind of idea was absolutely shocking to me. I was in the mindset of pinching pennies, put in your 401k, put in your retirement account, hold on to it, and then when you retire, when you're 60 and 65, then that's when you can relax. Okay, just work hard till you're 65 and then you can relax, right? So that kind of idea didn't resonate well with me because I started to see all of the people at the workplace that I was at, and they were completely depressed. They were like, oh shit, I hate this. Every single day they would show up, they would have this grim look on their faces. And I looked at that and I looked at what my life could potentially look like, 40 years down the line. And I was like, is this what I want for it? No. That's not what I want. So then my paradigm slowly started to shift because I started to have a desire, but my conditioning was pointing the other direction. But I was more focused on my desire. I was like, what do I want? And in the internship, I sort of made a declaration to myself and I said, look, by this time next year, I'm going to, make 20K a month in my business. I'm going to have my own business. I don't know what it is yet. I don't know how it's going to happen, but somehow it's going to happen. I had that kind of faith in that, right? So stage 1 was where I made that declaration and I made that decision. And to go from stage 1 to stage 2, I'm going to give you how these transitions happened. But before I get to that, I want to outline each stages. Stage 1 was me being at that 9 to 5. Stage 2 was me being stuck at the, actually having a business and being stuck at 1 month doing 5K, then doing 8K, and then going back down. Right? Inconsistent results, inconsistent revenue, right? In business. And stage 3 is where I am at right now, doing consistent 100K months, 150K a month, but now I want to expand and basically go from here to scaling up to 300K a month, actually having a team, actually having a company structure, a vision, and stepping away as the face of it, but actually having a brand and its own identity, right? So that's basically what I'm looking to transition into right now. So I'm at this stage where it's consistent 100K plus month and hiring team and scaling. Really scaling this up into visionary heights. That's the level I am at now. That's what I want to get to as well, going up to 300K months. So I'm going to put a border here. So these are the 3 stages that I've had to go through. Now, the big question becomes, how did the transition from one stage to the other stage to the other stage even happen? And how are you transitioning quasi from stage 3 to stage 4? And that's basically the overarching key of this whole video. So the key you've got to understand to making this paradigm shift. So let's say this was stage 1 for me, right? The solid line was stage 1. The dotted line was stage 2. And the final line, that would be stage 3. And the key to making this leap, right? When you go from one paradigm to the other, is shifting your identity, your internal sense of self, shifting your state of being, identity shifting. This is what we teach in the Reality Mastery program, where we teach people how to shift their identities so they can shift their whole realities. So where this concept of identity shifting comes from is understanding the overarching nature of reality, which is the mirror principle. Whatever you're seeing outside and happening in your life is all a reflection of the attitudes, thoughts, emotions, actions, physical actions that you take, all that's happening within that's leading to all of those, right? So in yoga, there are 4 paths to enlightenment. There is, first of all, the intellectual, which is jnana. You can get to enlightenment intellectually. There is the emotion, which is bhakti, the way of devotion. There is karma, which is the way of action, the path of action. And then there's kriya, which is energy, energetic, doing yoga, doing yogic practices. All of these paths can lead you to enlightenment, right? But if you have a healthy balance of all 4 of them, then you can get to enlightenment or achieving your goals much quicker. So in that manner, if you can align your thoughts, your emotions, your energies, and your actions all in one direction, you can arrive at your goal very, very quickly, dangerously quickly, right? It could be overnight. So you can manifest more money overnight if you learned how to do that. But most people don't know how to do that because there's a misalignment in the thoughts, emotions, actions, energies, right? There's somewhere a misalignment and there's a wavering. They can't keep it unwavering in one direction. So this is where this key of identity shifting comes in, completely changing your internal world so that your external world follows. So the mirror principle states that whatever you hold within will show without, okay? Because I kept staying stuck in the 9-to-5 mentality within, that's why it was so difficult for me to even think about starting my business, right? So to give you an idea, it took me 8 months from actually thinking about starting up a business to actually doing it. Even more than that. I think I recall it being 8 months, but it probably could have been a year and a half. I probably thought about it sophomore year, but actually doubling down, making the commitment and going full force, that took me a very, very long time. But when I did commit and I committed fully, it was very, very quick, right? It was almost a compound effect. I went from 0 to 100K a month in my business within 11 months of starting it. So that again shows when you understand the subtle principles of life and internally how to align yourself, the right things will come up to you. The problem is most people, they start to look for the strategies and tactics. The biggest trap when you're at the 9-to-5 and you want to transition out onto a different paradigm is the how. The biggest trap most people fall into is, how do I do it? Oh, what can I try to do it? What business opportunity can I try to do it? Because we've been spoon-fed up until this time. We haven't even been taught to think for ourselves. Do you see what I mean? The problem is, you've been spoon-fed knowledge. You were like in college, okay, this is what you need to know, and that's what you need to know, that's what you need to know. Here's everything that you need to know. Now you're good. You're good for that 9 to 5 career. This is why people get such a shock when they come out into the real world from college. They're like, oh, that's not how I thought it would be. Working in a company is completely different. But it's not as much different as you being a business owner, because your boss still tells you what to do, right? So just in that manner, whenever you want to make a paradigm shift, you've got to start to become receptive to what you actually want. This is where the concept of clarity comes in. When you get clear about what you truly want, not what you think you want, not what society tells you to want, that's when the opportunities, the how, will show up for you. But most people here, they're not receptive because they're not looking at what they truly want. They're looking at what they think they want. They think they want the financial freedom. But ask yourself this: if you were to transition from your full-time job to something you absolutely hate doing, but it gives you financial freedom, even, let's say you work 4 hours a week, but those 4 hours a week are the absolute worst. It's almost like you're stabbing yourself for 4 hours every single week, but the rest of the week you're completely fine, you can do whatever you want. Would you do it? You wouldn't, right? Because you're still suffering, as opposed to if you were working 12-hour days doing what you actually love to do. You woke up excited to do 12-hour days. Would you do that instead? Absolutely. Right? So the thing is, now my focus when I was at this 9 to 5 stage, the biggest barrier for me was, how do I get there? So I tried out a million different things, right? So the problem here is how. How the incessant focus on the tactics and strategies that will get you there instead of getting emotionally clear. Emotional clarity helps you break out of this. Emotional clarity. And then you get to stage 2, when opportunities do start to show up for you. When I got emotional clarity, what happened was the right opportunities started to show up my way. The right mentors started to come to me. You'll see a lot of people in the Reality Mastery program as well mentioning how, ever since I got clarity, I met the right mentors. I met the right people and the right business strategies and tactics. They all showed up for me. Up until now, I was just trying a million and one different things. But now the right tactics are here for me. And then when this emotional clarity comes, so with it does the tactics and strategies, the logical steps to help you get to that level that you want to get to. That's when you come to stage 2. But in stage 2, what happened for me was this inconsistent business revenue. I wanted to manifest more money, right? I was making more money than I was here, but I still wanted to manifest more money and consistently do so. And what I saw was that this inconsistency arose because internally there was an inconsistency within myself. What I mean by this is internally I was still stuck at this 9 to 5 mindset. A part of me was still holding back when I was making business decisions. And a part of me would still be like a cheapo repo, and I would get the cheapest way to get it done. And as a result, sacrifice a lot more of my time when I could be doing a lot of other things. The big thing that got me out of stage 2 was having alignment in my actions, my emotions, and the thoughts that I had. If I had the thought of, I want to go to 100K months, I want to go to a consistent 20K months even, then emotions would follow as well. What does it feel like to be at that 20K month? Who would this 20K a month version of Quasi be? How would he act? Would he be cheap on business decisions, or would he make those decisions with comfort? So the biggest reason why most people, even at this stage, which is what kept me stuck in this stage, was I was acting in alignment with the 9 to 5 self, expecting to arrive at the business version of me. That's absolutely ridiculous. And this is why identity shifting comes in. Having actions in alignment with thoughts. So we could say having your actions in alignment with the ideal self. That's the key. Please remember this. If you want to make a shift in your paradigm, every single action that you take has to be in alignment with who you're becoming, not who you are. Okay, a lot of people, when they're presented with a decision, they're like, oh, that's just not me. Oh, I just don't make snap decisions. Oh, I've got to sleep on it and think about it. That's the trap that they fall in, right? That's the problem, right? Because you take too long to make decisions, that's why you're stuck here. You've got to work against yourself. You've got to expand your comfort zone. I remember in stage 1, I would take 2 to 3 months to make a $2,000 decision to invest in a potential business that I didn't have. And in stage 2, it went from that to within an hour making a $5,000 decision, to stage 3, making a $30,000 decision within an hour. You'll see most successful people like Jeff Bezos, people like Elon Musk, they make very, very big decisions very, very quickly. They don't let it drain up their mental RAM. Okay? So success, sure sign of success is when you start to make more higher impact decisions in a lower period of time. Because you start to understand, the more you think about it, the more you'll start to doubt it. The more you'll start to look for things wrong with it. As opposed to really having faith and committing and doubling down on this decision and following it through. That was the biggest key that helped me move from stage 2 to stage 3. Making those $5,000 decisions. I remember in stage 2, I had inconsistent revenue. And now that I look back at it, was because my coaching business I was still doing the one-to-one model and I couldn't scale up. And a lot of my time was tied up to doing the one-to-one work with clients, right? And because of that, I didn't really know. I thought it wasn't affecting me. But some guy from some program, he was harassing me on, you should join. It will really help you free up more of your time. But at the time, I couldn't see the impact of it. I thought he was just trying to make a sale. But making that decision, towards the end of it, I said, you know what, fuck it, let's do this. Even though I'm stuck at the 5K month, I'm just going to make the decision to free up more of my time so that I can focus on what I need to do as a business owner. And because I made that decision, every single other area of my life started to blow up. The biggest fear I had in making that decision was that, what if I just waste $5,000? But then I started to look at the flip side of it. What if I don't do this and I stay stuck here for another 3-4 months? Would I want that? What if I'm stuck here for another year or 2 years? Would I want that? No. Then it becomes very, very easy to make these decisions. So the biggest key for me that helped me break from stage 2 to stage 3 was making these uncomfortable financial decisions in accordance with who I'm becoming. Okay? Even though my business wasn't at the stage where I felt comfortable making that decision, I made an uncomfortable decision to double down even more on my business and move forward. And what do you think happened as a result of that? It really doesn't make sense. But when I entered stage 3, my YouTube channel, so my videos started to blow up. A lot more people started to come into the channel. A lot more people started to schedule consults. And I started to have a lot more clients. But that's completely unrelated to me investing in that program, because that program would teach me some tactics and strategies to help me free up more of my time. But it's the impact of the decision that you make. Because remember, if you want to become successful, it's not about, what you try to do and etc. and etc. It's about the decision to have. When you have a complete firmness in your decision to have and be and do, it's going to happen. It's going to happen one way or the other. Everything becomes a placebo. Everything becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. It's just when you make that decision and you say, I'm not staying here like this anymore, I want that. And you make that unwavering decision. Remember, we talked about having an unwavering commitment towards what you want. Your energy, your thoughts, your emotions, your actions, all in the same line, unwavering. Then goal achievement can become very, very quick. That is outer intention. Okay? So that's what helped me move from stage 2 to stage 3. What's helping me move from stage 3 to stage 4? Again, the same thing. Having that faith, doubling down even more. I'm not comfortable handing over consults to a new coach that we've hired. They don't know how to do it the way I've been doing it for the past year and a half, right? But I do it anyways because I have this trust and I have this faith. Because if I don't, then I'm going to be stuck here for another few years. Sure, I might lose some money because maybe deals that aren't closing with him would have closed with me, but he learned something. My coach learned something. And at the same time, I learn a lot of things about training another person, right? Now I'm seeing that I'm becoming the bottleneck in my business. So this is how you manifest more money. You act against your conditioned self. You act against this self in favor of this self, okay? Because at the end of the day, if you don't sacrifice for your dreams will inevitably become the sacrifice, okay? So the biggest key I want you to take away from this video, please listen carefully, is if you want to experience more abundance, more money, more business success, anything that you haven't been experiencing right now, it's because you're confined to your own comfort zone. It's because you've been acting, thinking, feeling the same things every single day. You keep focusing on why you don't have money and why the bills are piling up, as opposed to what you actually do want. And when you do want something, and then something comes in your worldview, and you have to make a big investment decision, you just say, oh, I don't know. I should hold on to what I already have. Oh, I've taken so long to save up this money. Well, that's great. You can hold on to this money, but don't expect to, be who you want to be and experience what you want. Good things in life never come from the comfort zone. Like, growth never ever comes from the comfort zone. It always comes from the uncomfort zone. But especially when you have a good attitude towards that uncomfort, when you become hopeful, when you become, devoted and you have faith that this will happen. Okay? So the key thing you can do is, number one, shift your identity, act in accordance with who you're becoming. But before that, get clarity around what it is you want and who you need to become to achieve that. Act in accordance with that. Okay? And with that, I conclude this video. Thank you so much for watching. I sincerely hope this was helpful. I'm going to recap the gist of this video and really what we talked about and the big points of it, how I broke out of it as well. The biggest problem is most people hold on to what they already have, aka they keep themselves trapped in their own comfort zones. The very reason I was able to break out and make more money in my life was not just some magic, but it's only magic because, you start to look at the series of events that have unfolded and how I've acted against myself every single time. I've made these uncomfortable decisions every single time. And in stage one, when it was the 9 to 5, it was me making the uncomfortable decision to actually quit, to double down on my business, investing money that I didn't even have, borrowing money from other people, and just doubling down on that path, saying, you know what, this is the one I'm going to do. I'm not even going to think about going back. Oh, sure, maybe even if I fail, looking at the worst case scenario, getting okay with that. Even if I fail, at least I've tried. Because at the end of the day, trying and failing is much better than living the rest of your life in regret. That I can tell you for sure. Stage 2, going from those inconsistent revenue months, stuck at 0 to 5K a month, to actually moving up to 100K a month. What made that happen? Again, uncomfortable decisions, acting in accordance with who I'm becoming, not who I am. Okay? Making that decision to join that program symbolized not just joining that program, but my commitment to my craft. I will do anything to help me get to that next level. Even if it was a bad financial decision, I will at least learn from it and iterate and improve for the next. How am I going from stage 3 to stage 4, which is 300K months? Again, uncomfortable, having faith in someone else completely new. Right? And this whole thing happens because your own paradigm shifts. What you've got to understand is when your paradigm shifts, you don't destroy your old paradigm. You don't. You incorporate it into the new one. You see how these circles are overarching the smaller circles? It's because your comfort zone expands. This is literally what it means when your comfort zone expands. You've uncovered a larger territory of life. If you keep living in this minuscule comfort zone, you're going to grow old with zero experience of life. You're experiencing more and more of life as your comfort zone expands. And the key to doing all of this, to making this paradigm shift and seeing these changes in your external world, is by changing your internal world completely. And the biggest thing you can do is having your actions in alignment with who you're becoming. A lot of people can easily say, oh yeah, I'm the ideal self. I know I'm becoming the ideal self, but then they keep doubting themselves and focusing on poverty, and they start to hold on to more money as a result. They see a lack of money, they're like, oh, I don't have money, and then they hold on to what they already have, which then takes more and more of it away from them. Something happens, some accident happens, or some business disaster happens, or they prioritize investing in their real estate rather than themselves. And because of that, they keep staying stuck in the same perpetual cycle. I can't tell you how many times I've seen that happen. So remember, whatever you're saying must be true with how you're acting. Okay? You've got to be congruent and complete alignment in your thoughts and your emotions and the actions you take. And with that, I conclude this video. Thank you so much for watching. I sincerely hope this was helpful. If you're new to the channel, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Hit that little bell there so you're notified of any new video that I put out. And as I mentioned before, the free one-to-one consult with me and my team for the Reality Mastery Program is now open. If you're a professional, you're looking to transition out and start up your own business, something that gives you that time, financial, location freedom, and you've tried the different business opportunities, and what you're seeing is that with all of these opportunities, you just jump from one to the next only to return back to the 9-to-5. And quickly you're starting to see that the business model that you've tried is not the problem. It's not the real estate investing, it's not the stock market trading, it's not the affiliate marketing, it's you. Who you are is only stuck in this paradigm of the 9-to-5 and this conditioning of the 9-to-5, and because of that, you always keep returning back to it. The same thing with the entrepreneurs that we work with. They're stuck at the 5 to 10K months in their business. They want to scale up, they want to make more money, but again, it was never a business, tactical, or strategic problem. Those are the symptoms that they're seeing. There's an unseen wound that's causing these symptoms, which is themselves. Who they are is only worthy of the 5K, 10K months. Even if they do make more, they eventually return back down to this level. If that sounds like you, please make sure you click on the link in the description below to sign up for your free consult with us to see if we can help you, see if we can actually help you get to that next level in your life and in your business. And the free Facebook group is open for you to take advantage of as well. Make sure you click on the link in the description below to apply for it. There are 3 short questions. If you don't fill them out, we can't accept your membership. So please make sure you fill up those 3 questions when you request to join. And thank you so much for watching. Till next time. Peace.